It's a beautiful day in Boston as the Red Sox wrap up this brief three-game homestand. It's Game 3 of the three-game series between the Orioles and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox with a nice victory last night, but it came at a price.
Well, there was a lot of activity, Don, this morning in the Red Sox clubhouse, and a lot of it because of injury. And the injury that I'm talking about is the one to Dustin Pedroia. Well, last night he pulled a hamstring, his right hamstring, just before he touched first base. And you'll see when he goes around the bag, slips a little bit, and then he just certainly grabs at it after that and had to come out of the game, put on the 15-day disabled list. So that really triggered a flurry of moves for the Red Sox, most notably Jackie Bradley Jr. being called up for the game today. Devin Marrero taking the place as a utility infielder right now for the Red Sox. Dustin Pedroia, as we mentioned, on a 15-day DL. And a big surprise, Joe Kelly being sent to Pawtucket. Now, you know, that's going to be interesting because Justin Masterson will take his spot in the rotation when that spot comes up. So a lot of activity we'll talk about during the game, but Pedroia really triggered everything with that injury, and they're going to miss him.
Today, Eduardo Rodriguez tries to win the series for the Red Sox. He is 3-1 on the year, a no decision earlier this year against Baltimore. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. Brought to you by Audi. Experience the new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals by Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. Nissan gets a Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park on a beautiful day. We played day baseball in the finale of this series. The Red Sox have taken the field, so let's check out the Orioles lineup. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Manny Machado at third base leads it off with Chris Parmalee over at first base. Nolan Reimold in center field bats third with Matt Wieters in the cleanup spot. Delman Young in right field with Chris Davis, the DH today. J.J. Hardy at shortstop with Steve Pearce in left field. And Ryan Flaherty at second base bats ninth. The Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Eduardo Rodriguez, 3-1 on the year with a 3.13 earned run average, 27 strikeouts to 11 walks. Opponents hitting under 200 against him at 193. No decision on June the 9th at Baltimore against the O's. 6 innings of shutout pitching for Rodriguez. Ready to work to Manny Machado. Leads it off here for Baltimore. First pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball one, and we are underway. Machado with 304, 14 homers, and 39 runs batted in. The first time that Eduardo Rodriguez has faced the same lineup twice. Fly ball to right field, sending Bradley Jr. just back in the big leagues to the warning track to make the catch for the first out. Today's umpires are brought to you by Buick. Experience a new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Tim Welke, the crew chief, has a play today with Mike Everett at first base, Tim Timmons at second base, and Todd Tichenor is the umpire at third. One down here in the first inning, and brings up Chris Parmelee. This rosin bag has become a problem. First they had Eduardo move it off behind the rubber. And now the first base umpire, Mike Everett, wants it moved off the grass back towards the rubber. So now they get it situated off the mound altogether. Normally the former Twin hitting at .333. 3 homers, 4 runs batted in since his call-up from AAA Norfolk. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP is presented by Diplomatico Rum. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Rounder foul towards the Red Sox dugout.
Well, last time out for Rodriguez, a win, that coming against Kansas City. 6 1/3 in that game, 1 run allowed, had 5 strikeouts.
Swing and a miss, goes chasing, and Parmelee, the first strikeout of the day for Rodriguez.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and they are 9th in the league with 42 errors in 73 games. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base, Xander Bogaerts the shortstop, Brock Holt at second, Mike Napoli the first baseman, left to right Alejandro De Aza, Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr., and Blake Swihart doing the catching for Rodriguez.
Nolan Reimold bats with 2 outs, bases empty. Throw got away from Swihart. Returns here today for the Red Sox, and running it down, Brock Holt. Actually, it was Napoli ran it down coming over from first base. Now Swihart back with the Red Sox after spraining his foot in Kansas City. Red Sox all of a sudden dealing with some injuries, and none bigger than the one that occurred here last night to Dustin Pedroia that has him on the DL. Jerry, you said at the time, talking about hamstrings, they can be tough and they can take a while.
Yeah, and it was all black and blue this morning for Pedroia, so no question it's going to take all of the 15 days for him to get back and ready to play again. I also spoke to Hanley Ramirez, whose wrist was very swollen, his hand and his wrist. Still swollen this morning, so it's going to be a few days for him, too. Got hit by a line drive last night.
Foul off to the right out of play. Important to note that Hanley Ramirez not on the DL, still active as of right now, despite having this happen last night, and as you said, having to blow up on him.
Yeah, he looked at it and it was immediately swollen. That's why he headed right to the clubhouse. They took him for x-rays and CAT scans and everything else, and no broken bones. And he said he was very fortunate. He thought for sure he had something broken in there.
Swing and a miss, and a good start to the day for Eduardo Rodriguez. Red Sox are coming up. Back at Fenway Park, the Orioles go in order as we check out the Red Sox starting nine. The Red Sox lineup brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leading it off and in center field with Brock Holt at second base. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop with David Ortiz, the DH. Pablo Sandoval at third base with Mike Napoli at first. Alejandro De Aze in left field. Blake Swihart back in the lineup today for the Red Sox bats eighth, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in right field bats ninth. Now standing in Mookie Betts to start this bottom of the first inning. And he fouls the first pitch back. The Orioles starting pitchers presented by New England Nissan dealers. Miguel Gonzalez makes his 13th start of the year, 5-4, the 3.33 ERA, 59 strikeouts, 24 walks, and opponents sitting at 216 against him. That's so grounded back to Gonzalez, who throws to first base for the first out. Here at the bottom of the first inning.
The Orioles defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are third in the league with 34 errors in 71 games. Manny Machado will be at third base. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop. Ryan Flaherty at second, and Chris Parmelee, the first baseman. Left to right, Steve Pearce, Nolan Rymel, and Delman Young. And Matt Weed is doing the catching for Gonzalez.
One out here in the first inning brings up Brock Holt. And Brock Holt will get the lion's share at second base, it appears, for the Red Sox, although John Farrell said he would mix it up a little bit against left-handed pitching, and you may see him move around to the outfield more. And the Red Sox have other possibilities with Devin Marrero now here. He has played more recently, a little bit of second, a little bit of third, and of course came up and was drafted by the Red Sox as a shortstop. So he would be part of the mix as well in the absence of Pedroia. This one grounded foul.
You know, Gonzalez on the mound today, just coming off the disabled list. As a matter of fact, the last game that he pitched was against the Red Sox. 4 1/3, came out of that game with a bad groin, put on the DL, and then activated for the game today.
Well, today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Yesterday, Brock Holt played 3 positions in a single game for the first time in his career. Became the first major league player to play first base, second base, and left field in the same game since Lou Merlone did it, July 20th of 2004. This one fouled off to the left, out of play. Sunshine shining brightly on the field now. There's some clouds up there today. Conditions 78 degrees. Breeze out to right at 7 miles per hour. Forecast does call for partly cloudy skies. Fly ball down the left field line, foul.
Well, it was certainly active in that Red Sox clubhouse this morning, and we kind of expected that with the number of injuries the Red Sox had last night, but even more active than we anticipated.
Joe Kelly heading down to Pawtucket. Red Sox will slide Masterson into the rotation. He will pitch on Sunday. There's a grounder foul over by the Red Sox dugout.
And John Farrell asked about Kelly, and he said, we just want him to go down there as a starting pitcher and work on his command.
Now, John was asked yesterday about the possibility of Kelly going into the bullpen, and he said that really was not an option they were considering. They'd have to keep him as a starter and try to figure it out a little bit in Pawtucket. Swing and a miss, and Brock Holt strikes out. First K for Gonzalez, 2 down.
Good split-fingered fastball from Gonzalez right there to pick up the strikeout. He's always done well against the Red Sox. He's 5-1 with a 2.93 in his career against the Red Sox. That's 11 career games, 9 starts.
2 down here in the bottom of the first inning for Xander Bogaerts. Xander in the 3 spot. Seen this happen a few times this year. 291, 3 homers and 30 runs batted in, and right now in Pedroia's spot, and lineup looks a lot different with Dustin Pedroia not in it, that is for sure. Unfortunate part about last night, too, such a great victory for the Red Sox offensively, some timely hitting, some power from David Ortiz, and very good pitching. This is cleaned out. Down towards the track and the wall as Bogaerts heads to second base. Steve Pearce will get it back in, but it's a 2-out double for Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, good job by Bogaerts getting that inside fastball, getting the barrel of the bat out and pulling it down that left field line. So with 2 outs, the Red Sox get a man in scoring position. That ball way inside. And Bogaerts still gets the hands inside the baseball, does not surround it, and gets the barrel of the bat on the ball for the 2-base hit.
So 2 down, Bogaerts at second base, and David Ortiz standing in. Full shift on here, and the Orioles in their shift generally have their second baseman deeper than most, as they have Ryan Flaherty out there in short right field. Flaherty has made a few plays on David Ortiz in this series, right in that spot. Even yesterday, getting his 11th home run of the year, 33 RBIs on the season for the Red Sox DH. Well, David last night with a 2-run home run in the 6th inning, the 477th home run of his career. The Red Sox a 5-1 lead at the time. That's here with 2 outs, and Xander Bogaerts at second base. Two and 0. Mookie Betts grounded back to the mound. Brock Holt struck out, or Xander doubled down to the left field corner. And Ortiz will take a pitch low, and it's now 3-0.
And probably has the green light on the 3-0 count. So the split-fingered fastball on the 2-0 count. So no guarantee he's going to see a fastball here anywhere near the strike zone. We'll see. First base open.
In the air, down the left field line towards the corner. Steve Pearce heading over to the corner, and Pearce dives to make the catch up against the wall. Leaped into the air and robs David Ortiz, as that will end the first inning. No score through 1. Back at Fenway without a score as we head to the second inning. Matt Wieters in the cleanup spot today for the Orioles. Their catcher who had last night off. Saw Caleb Joseph do the catching here last night, and today Wieters starting game 3. Started the first game of the series, and it's at 279. 2 homers, 8 runs batted in, and takes strike 1. Good first inning for Eduardo Rodriguez, and a 1-2-3 first on 13 pitches. Recorded 2 strikeouts. Popped up right side, foul ground. Napoli hit it over so Swihart, and Napoli takes charge, makes the catch. Easier play for him.
Well, to end last inning, a terrific play by Steve Pearce. Now look how far he's going to go. Remember, they play that pinch outfield, so they're very close to center field. And talk about courage. I mean, going as hard as he can right into that padding down that left field line. Ortiz can't believe he, first of all, covered the ground. Second of all, made the catch.
First appearance of the series here for Delman Young. 271, 2 homers, 16 runs batted in. Right field today. And a ground ball hit sharply to Bogaerts at shortstop. Plenty of time to throw out Delman Young, 2 down. On Sunday, the Red Sox, the Highland Street Foundation, and the City of Boston are hosting a free Red Sox watch party for kids and families on the Boston Common. Watch the game on the big screen. Try your hand at Steel Home Challenge and grab some food. It's all free. Maybe some of them will be there on Sunday. 2 down here in the second inning for Chris Davis. Red Sox going into a shift on Davis. A .229 hitter, 15 home runs, 41 runs driven in. And he fouls it in the box, 1-1.
Understand our game today is going to Canada, so hello everybody in Canada, and of course we'll be there in Toronto at the end of our next road trip. Always look forward to that trip.
And first 3 in Tampa Bay and then 4 north of the border. Swing and a miss on a pitch up. 94 on the fastball from Rodriguez.
A good line fastball hit early from Rodriguez. That time elevating to Davis, as they like to do with the fastball.
Strike 3 call. Davis knew it. Takes with him the 3rd strikeout for Eduardo Rodriguez. Scoreless from the Fens. Pablo Sandoval is the subject of our Lowe's Never Stop Improving profile. Last 14 games, hitting at .396, 8 extra base hits, a .604 slugging percentage. Prior to that, hitting at .117 in the previous 19 games. Here he is to lead off the bottom of the second inning, and fouls it off Matt Wieters.
That's an early wake-up call for Matt Wieters, even though he has had an at-bat, and that's the first one he's taken off the mask this afternoon.
Sandoval swinging a miss on a pitch down and in. Actually foul tipped it. And it's 0-2 to Pablo, followed by Mike Napoli and Alejandro De Aza.
Yeah, slider that started off on the inside corner and it comes way inside on Sandoval.
To right field. Delmon Young coming in on the liner to make the catch. Good contact, but right in the neighborhood of Young out there in right field. They'll take advantage of specially priced Red Sox student tickets. Tickets are available for every Sox game for just $9 for all students 15 and over. Visit redsox.com/students to take advantage of this great offer today. One out in the second inning. Mike Napoli coming up. Average has slid under 200 for Napoli at 197. 10 homers and 29 runs batted in. Fly ball with Young deep. He is headed in, and that ball is falling, and it'll fall fair. Collision down there between Young and Parmalee, the first baseman, as it jumps up into the seats on a double for Napoli. The trainer for the Orioles headed out to check after this collision out there.
Yeah, Delmon Young kept looking at the first baseman, Parmalee. Parmalee looking at Young, and both guys have a terrific crash right here. Ball drops in, goes into the stands, but kicked in the chest, it looks like, is Delmon Young. Nice effort by both guys. Ooh. Looks like he took a knee to the chest area, and Parmalee appears to be okay, even though he made a tumble over Young.
Well, just one Nexium 24-hour gives you all day, all night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium24hour.com for savings and pick up Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. Well, Delmon Young staying in the game, and bleeding from his hand is Chris Parmalee, so you need to wrap that up here. What a collision, as Delmon Young, he was deep in right field. It didn't look like he was going to have any chance to get to that ball. Was falling fast, ends up falling in fair ground, jumping up into the seats, but then the collision.
Yeah, both guys are looking at each other, realizing that neither one of them could probably make the play on that, but a great effort by both guys. And fortunately for the Orioles, nobody really hurt badly on this. That could have been ugly.
Interesting note from Alex Spear, the Boston Globe. Swings at the first pitch this time to get that double. I'd be curious to find out how many times Mike ended up with 2 strikes on him. Seems like he's had it a lot.
He sees an awful lot of pitches, just about every at bat.
Alejandro De Aza. Napoli doing some dancing out there at second base. Stepping off was Miguel Gonzalez. De Aza takes strike one.
And De Aza lucky to be in the lineup today for the Red Sox. He had a tough night last night. First of all, diving in the first base, gets stepped on. on that left hand, and later on in the game, also on the left hand, got hit by a pitch. But he's okay and ready to go today.
.224 average for him. 3 homers and 12 runs driven in so far in his time between Baltimore and Boston. He's on this Orioles team this year and was went to spring training with him. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
And so far in this game, and it's early, but Gonzalez has showed a very good split-fingered fastball. They've all been down in the zone, and the late movement takes them out of the strike zone.
Diaza now, Swihart waiting on deck. Red Sox batting here in the bottom of the 2nd inning with Napoli at second base, 1 down. And Diaza fouls that off.
And looking at Gonzalez's numbers, he's given up 11 home runs on the season. That leads the staff for the Baltimore Orioles. Chris Tillman's given up 10, but Gonzalez with 11.
Generally, if you're going to get to Gonzalez, you got to get to him early. 16 of his 28 runs this season have been between the 1st and 3rd inning. Red Sox trying to get to him here in the 2nd inning. But through the 1st, they're giving up a 2-out double to Xander Bogaerts. 7 of his runs this year have been allowed in the 1st inning. Most runs of any inning in his outing. First has been a problem, but not today. Line to center field. Reimold's not going to get there. It's in for a hit. Napoli had to wait, so he's now just taking 3rd. As the Red Sox have runners at 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
Well, there's a split-fingered fastball that stayed up with the zone, and Diaza all over it for the line drive. And Napoli wasn't quite sure whether Reimold was going to be able to make this catch in the air. You see him take a peek, and then he realizes it's going to drop in, but they have to hold him at 3rd base. There's the hesitation to make sure the ball does drop in front of Reimold, and Butterfield puts a stop sign on.
1 out, 1st and 3rd, and Blake Swihart in his return today for the Red Sox. Not played in the last 3 games. Came out of Saturday's game in Kansas City in the 6th inning with the injured foot. Jumps on the first pitch and fouls it back. He's having a good series in Kansas City prior to the injury. 2 hits on Friday, 2 hits on Saturday.
Got 4 for his last 6.
Line into center field. A base hit for Swihart. Napoli coming in from 3rd, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. An RBI single for Blake Swihart.
Well, another elevated split-fingered fastball that time from Gonzalez. We were talking about how well he was throwing it, and he's left a couple up in the zone. This one stays high, about thigh high. And toward the end of the bat, the line drive into center field by Swihart to give the Red Sox a 1-0 lead. He picks up his 11th RBI of the season.
Two on, 1 away, a run in. And Jackie Bradley Jr. returning to the Red Sox. Numbers with Pawtucket this year. Hitting at .315. No homers, 6 runs batted in, 18 games with the Paw Sox. Red Sox have not lost a game that Bradley has started in this season. They are 7-0. Bradley's starts. His 3rd major league stint of the year. Spent the majority of last year in the big leagues with the Red Sox. Led the team in appearances in the outfield, 125 starts. And a pop-up here, left side of the infield. J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, makes the catch, and the infield fly rule in effect. 2 down in the inning. Well, Saturday on Dining Playbook, Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson come to you from a vineyard in Little Compton, Rhode Island. Plus here from Red Sox pitcher Justin Masterson. Don't miss Dining Playbook Saturday morning at 9. 2 on, 2 down, run in, and Mookie Betts. That's grounding back to the mound in the first inning. A nice play by Miguel Gonzalez. Rip foul out ahead. On the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Mookie Betts has driven in at least 1 run in 8 of his last 10 games. Now 34 RBIs on the year for Mookie Betts from the leadoff spot. It's a fly ball to right field. Delman Young this time has it lined up and makes the catch that ends the inning. The Red Sox grab the game's first run. It's 1-0 Boston. Top of the third inning back at Fenway Park. Red Sox enjoy a 1-0 lead. And back on the hill, Eduardo Rodriguez with that lead as J.J. Hardy leads it off here for the O's. Alex Spear from the Boston Globe alongside for this inning. And Alex, a lot of activity today in that Red Sox clubhouse.
Holy smokes, this has been quite a bit of turnover in the last few days. You know, typically a guy who goes down for a major league rehab assignment purchases a spread for the guys he's down for. Apparently Shane Victorino yesterday decided to bring back half the Paw Sox roster.
They've been eating pretty good down at AAA because there's been a lot of movement.
A little bit of succession of guys down there, but it's a pretty interesting group. A number of prospects that we've been hearing about for a while who came up today. for a number of different reasons. And obviously their roles are going to be different than what they've been doing in the minor leagues. But a guy like Devin Marrero, 2012 first-round pick, he was taken in the same draft as Brian Johnson, and just now kind of at that point of graduating. Obviously for now it's going to be in a utility role with Brock Holt sliding over as the primary second baseman. But Devin Marrero is a really good defensive shortstop, someone who's elite, and it'll be his bat that determines if he's a major league starter going forward.
Strike 3 to J.J. Hardy, and that is the 4th strikeout of the day for Rodriguez. I want to ask you about Marrero and how much of the other positions he's actually played.
He started getting exposed to them for the first time probably in his life this year. He started getting a little bit of time at second base and third base after having been just a shortstop for life. Because he's that good, and he grew up in a baseball family. I think that he was friends with Ray Ordonez when he was growing up, so he used to like look at the Ray Ordonez highlight reel and practice making all kinds of ridiculous sliding plays into the hole. But yeah, he's kind of like he's not quite on the same level as Jose Iglesias, because who is, but somewhat similar in terms of having a little bit of defensive wizardry at that position, and that lends itself to natural adaptation elsewhere in the diamond.
What do you make about the Joe Kelly situation?
That's a pretty interesting one. His arm, as we were talking about just the other day, is so electric.
Here's lines out for the second out of the inning.
His arm is so electric that you hope that you're able to harness it into something that's impactful. I think that this is kind of the shot of saying, okay, let's see if he can figure out how to command his pitches with any kind of consistency down in AAA. If so, you give him another shot, and if not, well, then maybe the bullpen is his future. The Cardinals were kind of navigating through that for a lot of his time over all of his major league seasons. He had settled into being an okay starter for them, not dominant, but relatively consistent. And for whatever reason, that consistency hasn't necessarily been seen here. So this gives them an opportunity not only to see if he can achieve that, but maybe also to evaluate some other options in the rotation, whether that's Masterson this coming Sunday, or maybe just beyond that, someone like Brian Johnson, who yesterday gave up just one bloop hit in 6 2/3 innings, and he carves up the strike zone so well. It's not eye-popping stuff like Kelly's, but he executes, and he's a really smart pitcher.
There's a guy we heard a lot about from John Farrell. John Farrell really liked, it appeared, during spring training.
He wasn't supposed to be in spring training probably for as long as he was. He made it right down through the end, staying on his turn in the rotation in spring training games. And that says a lot about how favorable the impression was that he made on the big league staff.
Swing and a miss, and Eduardo Rodriguez has 5 strikeouts. Alex Beard, thanks so much.
Pleasure to see you guys. Thanks again.
1-0 Red Sox. time now to vote for your Red Sox All-Stars. Vote on the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at redsox.com today. Make sure to vote early and often.
Like Christmas up here in the booth. I mean,
outstanding.
Unbelievable. Joseph Abboud comes up, gives Don shirts and ties and every other thing, and he's going through them. I like this one. I don't like this one. I have this one.
I'm trying to figure out what he's got here because takes such good care of us. This is to left field, and back goes to Pierce onto the warning track to make the catch for the first out of the inning. So we got ties.
No, you have ties.
I got ties.
I don't have ties. You have ties.
I have a tie thing. That's part of the problem. You don't have a tie problem. I have a tie problem.
I got things.
Oh, this is great. It's
I
like
have
Christmas
problems.
morning. This is all stuff you're going to see very, very soon. It's endless.
How about your shirts? You want to show shirts too?
The shirts are in here too. We have the same size, it appears.
Are you worried about that?
Well, no, I didn't realize we had the same size. So we're doing good. Men's Warehouse, and of course we thank Joseph Abboud, and we also, and there he is. As a matter of fact, also there's Doug Ewert, who is the CEO of Men's Warehouse, and they're having a big national suit drive we've been telling you about. And here it is. Nesson is proud to support the National Suit Drive in July. When you make a donation of gently used professional clothing in any Men's Warehouse, you'll help unemployed men and women look their best as they re-enter the workforce. Learn more at nationalsuitdrive.com.
I know how much you worry. What are you going to do with that stuff while we go on the road? Are you going to?
That's a very good question. I'm very nervous about it. I'm thinking about bringing it to the clubhouse maybe and giving it to Tommy.
Really?
Yeah, Tommy McLaughlin, because I don't know if it'll last up here.
Does anybody else get stuff from Joseph Abboud, or just you?
You get stuff from Joseph Abboud.
I don't have any of this stuff.
Well, there's not enough for everybody. This stuff over here. Okay. How's that?
You ever say thank you in your life?
I said thank you.
No, you didn't.
Are you sure?
You did not.
Oh, we had a lot going on. It got very busy. Alex Pierce showed up at the same time. 2-2 pitch is fouled off, and down goes Bogaerts. That hurt.
That's certainly something the Red Sox don't need right now. Topping the ball, and looks like it gets him right off the inside of his calf. But he's all right. Back up and getting back in the batter's box.
Back to the mound, and Gonzalez to first to retire Bogaerts. 2 down here in the inning. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings has given out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSON. That's NESSON at DraftKings.com. 2 outs here in the third for David Ortiz. David fouled out, as it turned out, down the left field line to Steve Pearson. A great running catch, in which made the catch and slammed into the wall. Shift on here for the O's against Big Papi. Grounder foul by the photographer's well, and on down the line.
Let me ask you a question. Take a look back in the first inning. Look at that terrific play by Steve Pearce against David Ortiz down on that left field line. All out effort, crashing into the padding on the wall down that left field line. Now my question was, you looked through your ties and you said you have a lot of those ties. Suppose I don't.
I could give them to you.
Oh. Could you?
I could. I have to take a better look, but I already saw one of the grays that I already have. So I would be thrilled to be able to give that to you.
Well, just remember what you said. That we got this on tape, right?
Yes. If I have a double, I will get the one that I have worn already and give it to you.
So what, I have to pay for it?
No, it's free. I got.
Yeah.
Oh, no charge. Free to charge. Friend to friend here, amongst friends. Strike three. David Ortiz goes looking and talks to Welke about it. It's 1-0 Boston. Batting 100 is no fun, but getting 100 feels great, especially when all you have to do to get $100 is open an Eastern free checking account. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. On to the fourth inning. Pablo Sandoval will be leading off next inning. It's Manny Machado this inning. And a pop-up coming from short is Bogarts, coming from second. And now from first it is Napoli. Wow. Three guys coming at it. Napoli ends up on the left side of the infield to make that catch.
Well, 5 strikeouts in the game so far for Rodriguez. We'll take a look at all 5, and 4 of the 5 are going to be on fastballs. A fastball away right there, fastball up and away to Raimel. Davis with a fastball there, and now we go to the fastball again, and this is going to be the slider. The Flaherty down and away. So pretty nasty stuff very early in this game for Erod.
One down for Chris Parmelee. He struck out swinging in the first inning. One of the 5 strikeouts so far today for Eduardo Rodriguez. To left center field, and this ball is going to get down and one hop the wall. Mookie Betts quickly getting it back in towards second base, and Parmelee sliding into second with a 1-out double and the first hit of the game for the Orioles.
And that's a nice looking hit right there for a good plate coverage by Parmelee. He gets a good slider from Rodriguez, and he's able to plant that ball in the gap in left center. That ball's down. It's out over the plate a little bit, but still a good pitch. And very good hitting right there by Parmelee. Played that ball off the wall very quickly, but the 2-base hit with 1 out.
1 out runner at second for Nolan Raimel. He struck out swinging in the first inning. Little check swing dribbler, and it's Rodriguez. He looked at third, now spins and cannot get it. It's off the glove of Napoli, and in from third base comes Parmalee. Game tied 1-1. Well, Rodriguez looking towards third base first, like he might have had a chance there, and he spins around and then has to hurry the throw and ends up throwing it into the dirt.
Yeah, kind of an awkward throw to first base. As you see him look toward third, there's no play there, then bounces, and it's a kind of a weird hop on Napoli. It really bounced up high on him. I don't know if it hit the lip of the grass right there, but up over the glove, and that's going to bring in a run. So that should go as a base hit, I would think, in an error on the pitcher.
That is the case. Now Matt Wieters will take a pitch up high, ball one. So Reimold credit for a base hit on the play. The run scores on the error. Charge to Rodriguez. Reimold with his lead at first base, held on by Napoli. Wieters fouled out to Mike Napoli in the second inning. Fly ball struck well to right field. Bradley Jr. going back at the wall, and that ball is gone. A two-run home run for Matt Wieters, and the Orioles take a 3-1 lead. Eduardo Rodriguez retired the first 10 Orioles he faced today. Now 3 quick runs here for Baltimore.
Now Wieters, who has had very few at bats from the right side of the plate, shows opposite field power this time on the fastball right here by Rodriguez. Hitting right-handed this year, Wieters only getting his 13th at bat. Had an 0.91 average coming into the game, but takes that one into the bullpen.
Now Delman Young, who grounded out to shortstop first time up, jumps out ahead here 2-0, and Swihart's going to go out and try to calm down Eduardo Rodriguez. Well, bring your dog out to Fenway on Monday, June 29th for Dog Day at Fenway. From 5:30 to 8:30 p.m., you and your four-legged friend are invited to walk the warning track. Get your pictures taken in the dugouts and interact with local pet-friendly vendors. They sit into center field for Delman Young.
We talked about it, Don, in a view from the booth today about Rodriguez, and you know, the second time for the first time he's facing a team for the second time, and that's the Baltimore Orioles, and see if they made any adjustments. So their at bats look much more comfortable here in the fourth inning than they have at any point through his first start or the first 3 innings of this game. That ball hit very hard by Delman Young up the middle for the base hit. So Kyle Willis out to have a little conversation and calm down Rodriguez.
Well, Delman Young with a ringing single. 4th consecutive hit here for the O's. Now he's got to deal with Chris Davis. Swing and a miss for strike one. Went back to the fastball at 95 miles an hour. Good size lead at first for Young, held on over there by Napoli. And Rodriguez in that first outing against Baltimore, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, walked 3, struck out 7, ended up throwing 102 pitches. Fouled off of Swihart, and the mask comes right off.
And rattles Swihart a little bit. I would say maybe more than a little bit. Right off the face comes the mask. Knocked it right off.
Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. Adam Pellerin and Steve Lyons break down the game. You'll hear from Eduardo Rodriguez and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? Two balls, two strikes to Chris Davis. J.J. Hardy waiting on deck. Orioles batting here in the top of the fourth inning. To center, and that's going to fall in for a hit. Delmon Young takes second base, and that is 5 straight hits now for Baltimore.
We've seen 2 left-handers in this inning get hits on the slider from Rodriguez. Parmalee with a double after one was out. That going to the opposite field. That slider's way off the outside part of the plate and right toward the end of the bat for Davis as he puts it in the center field for a base hit. So both sliders not that bad, just good hitting by the Orioles.
So first and second with one out, and here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy a strikeout victim in the third. .412 with runners in scoring position. 10 hits his last 17 at bats. He's got Young at second, Davis at first. Fouls it back, 1-1. Five straight hits here for the Orioles. 3 runs in.
Delmon Young dancing around second base back there, just trying to disrupt the Rodriguez, I think, because I doubt that he'd be going anywhere. Does not have a steal on the season. Tries to change up that time, one of the few that he's had.
Eduardo Rodriguez pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 3 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. He hasn't walked anybody and struck out 5. All the strikeouts coming in the first 3 innings. Foul back and a full count. Next pitch will be his 60th of his outing. Fouled off to the right again, and Hardy battling here up against Eduardo Rodriguez. Steve Pearce waiting on deck. Payoff pitch. And it's in the air to left field. Struck well. De Aza going back, and that ball is going to be off the wall. Round from second comes Delmon Young. He'll score. Going to try and score Davis all the way from first base, and the throw hits him in the back. 2 more Orioles runs, and Baltimore takes a 5-1 lead. Well, the fourth inning has been the problem inning for Rodriguez. Of the 16 runs he's given up, 11 have now come in the fourth inning.
Now, we talked about sliders and a couple of them been good ones. That was not a good one from Rodriguez. It just laid about knee high inside, and J.J. Hardy off the wall. Now you see Diaz gets trapped in very close to the wall. It bounces over his head, and because of that, another runner is going to come around and score. Ball's going to hit Davis right in the back, it looks like, right here, and Swihart never had an opportunity at it.
Now a liner down the left field line, foul.
I'll say this, they are being very, very aggressive today against Rodriguez.
Alexia Gondo just got up. There's strike two. There's been some pretty solid contact in this inning by the Orioles. After no contact, really. First time through for Eduardo Rodriguez. Line to left. De Aza is going to play it on a hop as J.J. Hardy will be stopped at third. De Aza has it cut off by Pablo Sandoval, and it's now first and third, and that is 7 straight hits now for the Orioles.
Well, we talked about the second time around, right? And what we're seeing is the Baltimore Orioles being very aggressive against Eduardo Rodriguez today. That's the fastball right there. You know, it's almost like they're looking for 2 pitches, the fastball and the slider, and not even thinking about the changeup. I mean, he's thrown 1 or 2 changeups in the game today. It's basically been fastball, slider.
Luciagondo getting ready. Red Sox had a 1-0 lead coming into the inning. They have watched the Orioles score 5 times, still only 1 out in the inning. Here's Ryan Flaherty, first to check at first base on Pierce.
Never know with Flaherty at the plate. He could try to drag a bunt with 1 out.
Strike call. Center picked up the corner. Flaherty a strikeout victim in the 3rd inning. J.J. Hardy at third. Steve Pierce crossed the diamond at first with 1 out here in the inning. Yank that down and away. It's been a 30-pitch inning for Eduardo Rodriguez. Has only 1 out so far in the inning. Started this inning by getting Manny Machado to pop out to the first baseman Mike Napoli. Since then, 7 straight hits, 5 runs for the Orioles, and a 5-1 Baltimore lead. Now Flaherty sends one to center. Betts going back to make the catch. Tagging at third is J.J. Hardy. He will score without a problem. And Baltimore takes a 6-1 lead. A sac fly for Ryan Flaherty.
That's a good job by Flaherty as he hangs in there against the breaking ball and gets it deep enough in the outfield to get that run home for third base. So it's going to be an early exit today for Rodriguez.
Pitching change from Fenway with Baltimore on top 6-1. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Back at Fenway Park, Eduardo Rodriguez gives up 6 runs so far, responsible for Steve Pearce, and a big blast in this inning, the home run by Matt Wieters.
Yeah, Matt Wieters getting a pitch right out over the zone right there, as you can see, and he took it to the opposite field. I mentioned Wieters, not many at-bats from the right side of the plate, but shows opposite field power right there for the 2-run home run, his 3rd home run of the season.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. And Alexia Gondo, first into this game, his 30th appearance, 1-0, the 3.26 earned run average. It's Manny Machado batting first. He kind of slings it over to first base, and back safely is Steve Pearce. Manny Machado popped out to begin this top of the 4th inning. What this outing will do from a mental standpoint for Eduardo Rodriguez.
Well, you know, this reminds me of a couple of outings ago when he got beat up by Toronto 4 2/3, 9 earned runs, then bounced back his next and had a very good outing at Kansas City. So we'll have to see, but boy, the Orioles, I'll tell you, they were swinging today. They were ready for him.
Outside for ball 2, 2-1. On deck, Chris Parmelee. He got it started. He had the first hit off Eduardo Rodriguez, who had retired the first 10, and he faced in the game. Now here's a fly ball out to center field. Battling the sun is Mookie Betts. Finds the ball again and makes the catch out there to end the inning. But what an inning for the Orioles it was. 6 runs, take a 6-1 lead. $100 just open an Eastern free checking account in the month of June and you'll get $100. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. 6-1 Baltimore on top of Boston now. O's get 6 runs in the top half of this inning. And it's Pablo Sandoval lead it off here in the bottom of the 4th. He'll take strike 1. Sandoval lining out to the right fielder Delman Young in the 2nd. Red Sox getting their run in the second inning, an RBI single by Blake Swihart, and this one is chopped up over the mound, and it'll find its way to center field. Pablo Sandoval, leadoff base hit to begin the fourth as we check in with Guerin.
Thanks, Don. As you mentioned in the open, Dustin Pedroia placed on the 15-day DL with a strained right hamstring. In his pregame press conference, manager John Farrell commented on what Pedroia's loss will mean to the team.
He's the heart and soul of our team in the short description of it. The way he plays, what he means in the clubhouse, what he means on the field with his performance, probably having a career year to date. Hopefully this is on the shorter end of the time missed. In other words, after the 15 days, hopefully he comes back to us, but there's no projected date on his return. He'll be back as soon as he's capable.
Mike Napoli talking it over here with the home plate umpire Tim Wilkie. Didn't think that was a strike. And John Farrell talking about the loss of Dustin Pedroia on the DL today with a hamstring strain. It appeared to be pretty bad last night when it happened. And today we get the official word. Hanley Ramirez not on the DL, although maybe a day or two is be swollen today in the Red Sox clubhouse after being hit in the hand. 1-1 is on the ground and by the dive of Machado at third base. So Napoli with a base hit. First two have reached for the Red Sox. They try to answer the 6-run top half of this inning.
Yeah, maybe Napoli's approach is going to change a little bit, be a little bit more aggressive at the plate, and he has been in his first couple of at-bats. A double back in the second. Now the base hit by the dive of Machado at third base.
Two on, nobody out. Alejandro De Aza. Aza with a single to center field in the second inning. Red Sox put together 3 straight hits and a run in that second inning. Down the right field line and foul. Out ahead was De Aza.
That pitch down and into De Aza and hooks it into foul territory. A lot of first games today.
Fouled off 1-2. Well, Miguel Gonzalez had retired 5 Red Sox in a row. He's fresh off his 1-2-3 third inning. Well, maybe not fresh off. He had a pretty long wait. A 23-minute wait after he retired the side in order in the third inning. In mind, his team put together 6 runs for him. A 5-run lead coming into this, the bottom of the fourth, but a single for Sandoval, single for Napoli. Now 1-2 to De Aza. Not chasing that. 2-2. Popped up foul ground. Machado heading over towards the seats, and he won't have a play. Went knees first, though, into that short wall.
Well, look at Machado at a young age, and just a complete play. A great defensive third baseman, terrific throwing arm, hitting for power now, hitting for average. He can run. He can do it all.
Now De Aza down the right field line towards the pole, and that ball is gone. 3-run home run for Alejandro De Aza. Red Sox right back in it again. It's now 6-4 Baltimore. 4th home run of the year for De Aza.
We talked about the fact that Gonzalez gives up the most home runs on this staff, and this one quickly gets the Red Sox back in the game. It's a curveball, and right there hooking it just inside the foul pole is De Aza, and for him to do it against the Orioles is special for him.
And now Blake Swihart rolls it over foul. Now, for every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. 12th home run allowed by Miguel Gonzalez. Now 0-1 fouled off to the left. Swihart with an RBI single in the 2nd inning. This inning, Sandoval a single, Napoli a single, De Aza a 3-run home run. Both teams with 7 hits. Orioles on top 6-4 now. Swing and a miss, and Swihart strikes out. That's a 3rd K for Gonzalez. 1 out here in the inning.
The slider that time from Gonzalez to pick up the strikeout against Swihart goes inside. 3 pitches in that at bat inside to Swihart.
Big Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 1 out here in the 4th for Jackie Bradley Jr. Takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Popped out to the shortstop, J.J. Hardy, in the 2nd inning. Bradley returning to the Red Sox today, 3rd Major League stint of the year. Liner foul. Miguel Gonzalez's pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 3 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs. Hasn't walked anybody. Struck out 3, and here is pitch number 68. And it's a grounder. Hardy to the backhand short. Throw is going to one hop and not be in time. Beaten out by Jackie Bradley Jr. Nice bid, though, by J.J. Hardy.
Yeah, J.J. Hardy, one of the best in the business at shortstop. And from that position, tries to go overhand with the throw, bounces it to first base. Too much speed from Bradley Jr. He's just going to beat it out. Terrific defensive play. But Bradley hustling all the way, gets the front of the bag before the ball's in the glove of Chris Pomeroy.
First hit of the season for Jackie Bradley Jr. One out, 1 on, and Mookie Betts, the batter, his 3rd look today at Miguel Gonzalez. He's grounded back to the mound, flied out to right. That's Show's bunt, pulls it back and takes ball 1. Center fielder Nolan Reimold, step or 2 towards right center. Parmalee holding on. Bradley Jr. at first, gets a good sized lead again. Popped up, foul ground. Back comes Wieters towards the screen to make the catch. So Betts fouling out for the second out of the inning. Right now you can get up to 60 months with no interest on anything at Jordan's Furniture. Furnish one room or your entire home. Best of all, you'll get to enjoy it right now. Visit Jordans.com for details. Two down. Jackie Bradley Jr. is at first base. And Brock Holt 0 for 2. He struck out swinging, flied out to the warning track in left field. Brock looking for his first hit of the series now. He's 0 for 9. First action we've seen in the Baltimore pen. TJ McFarland, a left-hander, up. Popped up left side, sending Machado backpedaling to the outfield grass for the out that ends the fourth inning. A 3-run home run for De Aza. It's the Red Sox right back in it. It's 6-4 Baltimore. Alejandro De Aza has a 3-run home run. Red Sox now trailing by 2. It's on to the 5th inning. Alexi Agondo back on the mound here for the Red Sox. He's able to get the final out of the 4th. Starts the 5th inning. Chris Parmelee leading it off here for Baltimore. It was his hit that started the rally for the Orioles in the 4th inning. And a double out to left center field, and they would string together 7 straight hits after that. Score 6 times in the 4th inning off Eduardo Rodriguez.
Now Gondo's job is to keep the Orioles off the board. The Red Sox got a little momentum going with that home run by De Aza. Got back in the ball game, and now it's up to Agondo to get some quality outs.
Falls behind here 3-1 to Parmelee. Swing and a miss, full count. Fastball up at 94 miles an hour. Parmalee, then Reimold and Wieters. 2, 3, and 4 in the Baltimore order here in the top of the 5th inning. And a grounder to first as Napoli's going to need help though, and Agondo over to cover for out number 1 of the inning.
Very nice play by Mike Napoli down at first base. That had double written all over it, but Napoli goes to the line, and it took a tricky hop on Mike as it was down that first base line, able to get it to Agondo and get the out. One more look at Napoli. See how he gets prepared all the time, almost like a catcher going down into his crouch. All infielders have different ways of getting ready. Third baseman sometimes very similar to first baseman.
Nolan Reimold takes a hack and fouls it back to the screen. Struck out in the first, had the infield hit in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 day. They came around to score. On the ground, left side to short. Bogart surrounds it and throws in time. 2 down. Now, today's poll question is brought to you by the Scion TC. Which professional sports draft is the most intriguing? Text Sox 1 for MLB, text Sox 2 for NBA, text Sox 3 for NFL, and text Sox 4 for NHL. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions as well as privacy policy.
If I had to text Sox 5, it would be I don't care.
You don't care?
No, I really don't care. I don't. I care when they get to where they're going.
Now, the MLB draft is a little bit different because it seems to take guys longer to get here than it does maybe in some of the other sports.
Right.
The NBA draft is tonight. This one is grounded foul. So Jerry would text Sox 5.
Sox 5, I don't care. I really don't. I mean, I want to see the games.
Two down for Matt Wieters. And a big 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Difference in the game right now. Third home run for Wieters, who began the year in the DL for the O's after Tommy John surgery last year. Wieters lines it quickly down into right field by the dive of Napoli, and Wieters on for the 2nd time today.
Against the slider that time from Agondo, hits it hard to the right of Napoli that time. There's the breaking ball, comes back out over the plate and hooked. A topspin line drive that time from Wieters. Jackie Bradley Jr. long way to go to get to that and hold Wieters to the single.
So a 2-out base runner here for Baltimore with Delman Young. Young is grounded to short, singled to center, and scored a run. Tommy Lane up in the pen now for Boston. Agondo is first out after Eduardo Rodriguez was chased from this game after 3 2/3. And a pitch up and in grabs the attention of Delman Young. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Up and in, down and away that time for Agondo. Picks up the swing and miss on a pitch that borderline strike, maybe out of the strike zone. Definitely out of the strike zone.
to right field. Jackie Bradley Jr. is there to make the catch that ends the top of the 5th inning. Baltimore on top 6-4. Sox moment all season long. Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary. In their 74th game of the 75 season, the Sox beat the Brewers 6-3. Jim Rice went 2 for 5 with 2 home runs for the Red Sox. Bottom of the 5th inning, 6-4. Baltimore on top. Xander Bogaerts leads it off and takes strike 1. Xander with a double in the 1st inning, a 1-for-2 day so far. Down in the count, 0-2. Well, since May the 31st, Xander Bogaerts hitting at .345. David Ortiz, then Pablo Sandoval expected here in the 5th inning. Grounded foul. Well, tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, L. Duncan and Gary Streisky will have the latest on tonight's NBA draft. That's tonight at 10 on NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Two. Swing and a foul tip held onto by Wieters for strike 3. Bogaerts arguing that it hit the dirt. It'll be the 4th strikeout for Miguel Gonzalez. First out here at the bottom of the 5th.
Those are the slider right here. Does it hit the dirt? No. The dirt coming up is from the glove of Matt Wieters.
One down here in the 5th inning and brings up David Ortiz. David fouled out to the left fielder Steve Pearce in the 1st. Struck out looking in the third inning. One of the 4 Ks today for Gonzalez. Orioles shifting. Popped up foul, back and out of play. In the air to shallow center field. Nolan Reimold makes his way in and puts it away. 2 down here in the 5th. Now 4 in a row retired by Miguel Gonzalez.
Reaction from David Ortiz. He missed a good pitch right there. That was right in his zone down, and you can see the frustration right there. He knew he had a good pitch to handle and popped it up.
Two down here in the 5th inning brings up Pablo Sandoval. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. That's got to be frustrating when you know what you could do to that pitch if you had another chance.
Yeah, especially guys who hit home runs for a living. You know, I mean, you get that pitch in your zone right there. You know it's a ball you can hit a long way. Similar to the pitch you got last night to hit the straightaway center field. One more look at the location. You'll see Wheatus set up outside, but the ball stays middle. And right down in the zone where he likes it, down in the zone, and straight up it goes. And straight down goes the bat.
Sandoval lines out to Parmelee. Some pretty good ups there at first base. Parmelee brings it down. A 1-2-3 inning and a 6-4 Orioles lead. On Nesson is brought to you by Nissan. Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. The Scion TC. And by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. It's been a very comfortable day here today in Boston. Great weather, 6-4. Baltimore on top as we head into the top of the 6th inning. Chris Davis leading it off against the new Boston pitcher. Tommy Lane into the game here for Boston. 29th appearance, 0-1 with a 2.82 earned run average. 24 Ks to 12 walks. As Davis takes a pitch inside and is ahead 2-0. Jonathan Arroyo up in the pen for the Red Sox. Just joined the club today, brought up from Pawtucket. One is going to miss. Did he go? They check no. This is Todd Tichenor. 3-1 the count, and some shifting going on here in the infield. Now Bogarts goes to the left side, Sandoval to the right. Strike two, full count. Gondo went an inning and a third and gave up one hit. No walks, no strikeouts. And a swing and a miss as Chris Davis strikes out. Tommy Lane strikes out first batter that he faces.
Yeah, good two-seam fastball there by Lane as it runs back down and in on Chris Davis. The majority of the pitches there from the middle of the plate in to Davis, and that at bat.
Celebrity Cruise is the official cruise line of the Boston Red Sox. Join Red Sox legends Louis Tia, Jim Rice, Steve Lyons, and more on January 9th as they sail the Caribbean on Celebrity's 2016 Red Sox Fan Cruise. Space is limited. Call 1-888-727-4907 or contact your travel agent today. One out here in the sixth inning for J.J. Hardy, who has struck out looking, doubled to drive in 2 runs. All part of a big 6-run fourth inning. Lane last pitched on Saturday against Kansas City. Pitched in the 6th inning of that game on Saturday night. Ground ball towards Napoli. Lane's got a cover, throws behind him, but he has time to recover.
A nice play by Tommy Lane because that ball was behind him as he was heading toward first base. Napoli usually does a very good job leading the pitcher, but this time it's going to be behind Lane, and watch him spin around, make the catch, and get to that bag before J.J. Hardy. Pretty impressive by Tommy Lane. See Napoli trying to lead him, but it was behind him, and I think Lane was surprised when he turned around and realized he had that much room or time to get to the bag and tag it.
Steve Pearce fouls it off. 0-2.
Take another look at that play at first base, and when Lane spins around, looks like maybe he wanted to tag the runner, but he's not there yet. So from that point, go tag the bag. Good job.
Two pitch is outside. Pierce line to short, single to left field. He's got one of the 8 Baltimore hits, both teams with 8 hits in this game. Did he go? They'll check. No, he did not, says Mike Everett.
I don't think so that time, Don.
I agree.
You do agree with me?
I agree, yeah. He didn't offer.
Surprising.
Yeah. On the ground, foul outside of third. Get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located right behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Two pitch. This is lined a fair ball down towards the left field corner. Piazza plays it quickly and headed for second base as Pierce will get there, sliding in with his second hit of the day. It's a 2-out double for Steve Pierce.
3 times he's hit the ball hard. First time was a line drive to shortstop, then a base hit in the 4th inning, and now this pitch right down the left field line for the 2-out double to get a man in scoring position for the Orioles. See Sandoval right on the line there with 2 outs, but he lifts it over his head. Dribbled around out in left field by Piazza, and plenty of time for Pierce to get into second in scoring position.
Here is Ryan Flaherty, who struck out in the 3rd and a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning and picked up his 17th RBI of the year. Runner goes. The pitch is low. No throw. And stealing third base is Steve Pierce.
Well, the Red Sox paying no attention at second base, as you can see right there, in kind of a walking lead. And see where Sandoval is. He doesn't want to leave his position too soon in case there's contact by Flaherty. And so after that, it was too late to get to third base to receive a throw. Well off the line.
In there for a strike.
And I've always felt that if they're going to give you third base with 2 outs at Fenway, you take it, because there's no guarantee on a base hit to left field you're going to score from second base in this ballpark. So they give it to you, take it.
Lane battling back here, 2-2. Look out, and he hits Flaherty. So down to first base, trying to spin away, and he gets hit.
Yeah, tried to break off the breaking ball right there, and no break to it. So it looks like John Farrell's going to make the move to the bullpen. Another look at the breaking ball that just kind of spins up the home plate and off the right cheek of Flaherty.
Send it down to Guerin.
Thanks, Don. As you mentioned earlier, Joe Kelly was optioned to Pawtucket. In his pregame press conference, manager Joe Kelly said manager John Farrell said they made this move so that he could work on his consistency.
He centers around consistent command of the baseball and his pitches. It's certainly not stuff. It's not athleticism. The frustrating part of this, even for Joe and for all involved, is that when you see an athlete of his ability and it doesn't translate to the consistent command of his pitches, that's what is continually being addressed.
Justin Masterson will be making the start at Joe Kelly's spot. Jonathan Arroyo, one of the moves that happened today, and a flurry of moves for the Red Sox here today prior to the game. And Arroyo here into the game. The Dominican native signed by the Red Sox as an international free agent June of 2011. 4+ years of professional baseball in the Red Sox system. Began last year with AA Portland. Has an active 18-inning scoreless streak with the Pawtucket Red Sox. It spanned a total of 8 appearances before his selection today. Stay tuned following WB Mason Extra Innings Live for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. Adam Power and Steve Lyons will preview the Red Sox next series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Red Sox will be going head-to-head with the team that currently leads the American League East by a game over the Yankees. Tampa Bay 41-33. First and third, 2 down. Manny Machado 0 for 3. He's flied out to right, popped out to first, and flied out to center.
Trying to keep those first 2 fastballs away from Machado. 93, 92 miles an hour.
Line to left, and that's going to get in. De Aza knocks it down, but from third, Pierce will score. Flaherty goes to third on an RBI single by Manny Machado. And the Orioles take a 7-4 lead.
Well, Machado takes a couple of pitches away. 2-0 count, gets the fastball down the middle, and a line shot in front of De Aza. Nice effort by De Aza, knocks it down. Well, actually bounced above his glove and into his chest. Machado picks up his 40th RBI of the season.
First and third with 2 down, and here is Chris Parmelee. That run is charged to Tommy Lane, who's still responsible for Flaherty, who's now at third base. Lane had started the inning by striking out Davis, getting Hardy to ground out to first, but then a double, and he hit a batter before Jonathan Arroyo came into the game here for the Red Sox. Parmelee will take the pitch up high, and it's 3-1. Popped up into shallow left. Bogart's backpedaling. Red Sox shortstop now gives way, and De Aza runs it down, makes the catch. It ends the inning. A run added on here by the Orioles on top 7-4. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. 7-4, Orioles on top. They had a run in the top half of the 6th inning, and now it's on to the bottom of the 6th. Mike Napoli. Another swing and a miss. Definitely more aggressive today at the plate. He has had a couple hits today, a double and a single. Swinging at that first pitch.
Yeah, noticing that too. Then Gonzalez goes to the split-fingered fastball on the first pitch.
Grounder foul outside of third. Orioles had T.J. McFarland up an inning ago. He's back up again. Miguel Gonzalez is now retired 5 Red Sox in a row, and his lead has increased. Buck Showalter's team on top now, 7-4. And Napoli gets hit on an 0-2 pitch. On for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, that's the last thing that Gonzalez wanted to do there. I mean, he's ahead in the count. He's trying to come inside with a fastball, but instead hits Napoli and puts him on first base. Showalter going to the bullpen. Napoli just turns his back on that one and takes it off very close to the number 12.
It's time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Adam? Parts with a chance to get a victory in this game.
We'll go back now to the 4th inning and see how the Orioles scored most of their runs. Parmalee is going to take a breaking ball, a slider that's down and away, not a bad pitch, and go to the opposite field for the double. Then that little tap by Reimold that he throws away at first base. That allows the run to come home, the first run of the game. The Wieters going to the opposite field on a fastball for the home run, a 2-run home run. And J.J. Hardy, that slider was not a good one by Rodriguez, and he plants that off the left field wall. So a 6-run 4th inning. Flaherty with a sacrifice fly to center field brings in another run, and that was the big inning right there for the Baltimore Orioles.
Game summary is brought to you by Xfinity, as Gonzalez starting this game just left after 5+ innings. Charged so far with 4 runs. Saw the Wieters home run, his 3rd of the year, 2 for 3 in the game, and the Red Sox starter on the hook, Eduardo Rodriguez, who went 3 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 5. So Miguel Gonzalez's day is over. Now T.J. McFarland into the game here for the Orioles. 11th appearance, 0-1 with a 1.93 earned run average. 11 strikeouts, 8 walks. Opponents hitting at .293 against him.
And once again, the Orioles go into the shift in the infield, but a double play depth with De Azer at the plate. Not back on the grass, trying to get a double play in the shift.
Piazza grounds it up the middle. It'll be the shortstop, Hardy, who throws on to first for double play.
Well, the shift works out perfectly that time, as Hardy just had to go a couple of steps to his right and make the play right near the bag. Just steps on the bag, goes to first, and they pick up the easy double play. So the shift productive that time for the Baltimore Orioles. If not, that ball would have been up the middle for a base hit.
There's Blake Swihart, who singled to center field in the 2nd inning, struck out swinging in the 4th inning. That'll miss for ball 2. 2-1. So again, Miguel Gonzalez, 5+, 8 hits, 4 runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4. Hit the first batter that he faced here in the 6th inning in Napoli, but quickly erased on the double play. TJ McFarland able to take care of that, and now a base hit into center field for Blake Swihart, his 2nd base hit of the day.
One hitting left-handed, this time switching around to the right side of the plate to pick up the base hit to center field. So big double play in this inning for the Orioles against De Aza. Swihart in the center with the line drive.
Two down. Swihart at first base, held on by Chris Parmelee. There's Jackie Bradley Jr. So 6, 7, 8 men all with 2 hits in this game. Napoli, De Aza, and Swihart. Only 1 hit for the top 4 hitters in the Red Sox order. Bogarts with a double. On the ground right side again, it's Hardy, shortstop on the right side of the infield, who throws out Bradley Jr. to end the 6th inning. 7-4 Baltimore. Where the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Jonathan O'Rowe back on the mound here, dealing with Nolan Reimold, leading it off for Baltimore in the 7th inning. Reimold struck out swinging in the 1st, reached on an infield hit and scored in the 4th before grounding out to shortstop in the 5th inning. Fouled off to the right, out of play. 2-1. So the run that the Orioles got in the 6th inning charged to Tommy Lane. So 6 given up by the starter Eduardo Rodriguez, 1 by Tommy Lane. 2-1 pitch foul back below us.
Now, so far we've seen the fastball, the slider, and the changeup.
Line towards the gap in left center field. That'll get down quickly to the track and the wall. Reimold headed for 2 as Betts will get it back in, but it is a leadoff double by Nolan Reimold to open up the 7th inning.
Well, Reimold picks up his second hit. The first one was kind of a chop down that third base line, and this time he gets a fastball out over the plate and finds that gap in left center field. So Reimold in that 3 spot today with a couple of base hits. Long time between doubles.
It's one foul back, and it's a ball and a strike. Ace Ticket has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. In there for strike 2 to Matt Wieters, 2 for 3 today, including a 2-run home run in the 4th inning, his 3rd home run of the year. Delman Young waiting on deck. O's batting here in the 7th. Nice catch by a fan to our left. Two-handed grab. And ground ball foul. Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center. Good sized gap out there in left center here on the left-handed hitting Matt Wieters. Fouls it off himself, and it gets all the way down to the tarp.
That ball almost on the ground and topped, as you can see there, by Wieters. Down to the top, as Don mentioned. He topped it to the top.
Swing and a miss. Off balance and fooled there was Wieters. There's the first out of the 7th inning. First strikeout for Jonathan Rowe.
Yeah, Rowe shows a good changeup right here. See how Wieters out in his front foot off balance, not expecting to get the breaking ball, or the changeup, I should say, on that pitch.
For every strikeout by a Red Sox pitcher at Fenway Park, Aetna will donate $250 to Boston Healthcare for the Homeless program. Aetna is helping build a healthier world, one city, one strikeout at a time. Fly ball to left field. De Aza froze initially, but now he comes in and makes the running catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Two down for Chris Davis. Davis struck out in the 2nd, singled, and scored in the 4th. Struck out in the 6th inning. Both times swinging today. Strike over the outside corner. Over the shift and a fair ball down the right field line. Bangs around as Bradley Jr. able to dig it out. But from second base, Nolan Reimold scores. Throw kind of airmailed back into the infield as the Orioles take an 8-4 lead.
Well, Davis has had kind of a strange day. 2 strikeouts and 2 hits. A single back in the 4th on a breaking ball. This time gets to double. Knocks in a run. That's his 42nd RBI of the season. No fan interference as it goes down that right field line. Jackie Bradley Jr. with a high throw into second base, but backed up. by Pablo Sandoval.
Now it's strike one to J.J. Hardy.
There's that throw from Jackie Bradley. He just let it fly. But Sandoval's there to back it up, and Moreau covering third base.
Hardy tried to hold up and then finds himself down 0-2. Drove in a pair with a double in the fourth inning. Popped up, foul off first. Napoli going as far as he can by the dugout. Won't have a play. Two to Hardy. That'll bounce in. 2-2. Swing and a miss, elevated, and it is held on to by Swihart. A run for the Orioles in the top of the seventh. Seventh inning stretch, 8-4 Baltimore. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now on southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. And by the Kia Sorrento. Been a nice day today in Boston. Day baseball from Fenway Park, and the Orioles have added a run in the top half of the seventh inning. Made some changes. Nolan Reimold now moving from center to right field. And David Lowe checking into the game in center field. So Delman Young coming out of the game. Top of the Red Sox order, Mookie Betts leading it off here in the bottom of the seventh inning. 0 for 3 from the top spot in the Red Sox order today. It's grounded back to the mound, flied out to right, fouled out to the catcher. TJ McFarland back on the mound again. And a base hit to left field for Mookie Betts.
And the base hit there for Betts extends the hitting streak now to 12 games for Mookie. Finds that hole between third and short. Red Sox pick up their 10th hit of the afternoon.
Third time in 7 innings they've had the lead runner on. Only once have they scored. As the pitch misses inside, ball 1 to Brock Holt. Holt 0 for 3 today. Struck out, flied out, popped out. There's a strike, 1-1. I mentioned the hitting streak up to 12 games, 489 during the 12-game hitting streak. 3 home runs mixed in there, 9 RBIs. Holt will take a strike that he didn't think was a strike.
He's getting crushed recently on those pitches that are just a little bit outside. I mean, they're all going against Holt.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out for the first out of the 7th inning. First strikeout for T.J. McFarland.
Second time today that Holt has struck out. It was a split-fingered fastball from Gonzalez early in the game. That time the fastball moving back in. A little two-seamer that time for the strikeout against Holt.
One out, one on, and it brings up Xander Bogaerts. Doubled in the first inning, grounded back to the mound in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th. No pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Bogaerts to left center field, sending Pearson low back, and it's going to be a one-hopper to the wall as Mookie Betts will try and score from first base. He will without a problem, and it's now 8-5. RBI double for Xander Bogaerts.
I think Lowe misjudged that ball. He had more room to go in center field than I think he believed he did. Ball hit well by Bogaerts, but it's not going to reach the wall. And watch Lowe kind of pull up thinking it was. And then it one-hops the wall. Mookie Betts' good base running was, you can see right there, and see him pull up at the before the 379 marker. Now, I don't know if he would have made the catch, but I think he misjudged the wall a little bit on that play.
One out, Xander Bogaerts at second base, and here's David Ortiz. Takes strike 1. David has fouled out, struck out, flied out. 0 for 3 day for the Red Sox DH. In and down, 1-1. Farland's been in the game since the 6th inning. He's allowed his first run since coming in. Tommy Hunter now up in the pen for the O's. Swing and a miss. Evens at 2-2 now to Big Papi.
There's that sinker down and in again, and a little bit nastier than the one that he got Holt on. This one way down and in.
foul. Sharply back into the grandstand. Full count. Good battle here. Seventh pitch coming up here to David Ortiz of the at bat. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. Payoff pitch to Big Papi. And he fouls it off himself again. Payoff pitch on the ground. Big high hop that's picked on the backhand by Parmalee. He'll retire Ortiz as Bogaerts takes third base. So 2 down, and Pablo Sandoval coming up. Sandoval today is lined out to right, singled to center, scored a run, and last time up lined out to the first baseman Chris Parmalee leaped up into the air to make the catch. 25th pitch for McFarland of relief, and a line drive foul. This one will get away. Here comes Bogaerts from third, and it's a 2-run game again. 8-6 now. The Orioles with the lead.
Well, you take them at this stage any way you can get them. If they want to give you a gift, take it. And the Red Sox take it. Ball that's going to hit and rest in front of the plate, right under the legs. And a free run for the Red Sox. So they trail it by 2.
Wild pitch charged to McFarland. Makes it 8-6 now, where the base is empty, 2 outs. Ball and a strike to Pablo Sandoval. On the ground down the first baseline, a fair ball, and Parmalee will tag the bag to end the inning. Red Sox get a pair of runs. We head to the 8th, 8-6 Baltimore. Nesson Clubhouse, you'll learn about camera technology at the ballpark in Fenway jobs. Plus, we'll check in on the Red Sox Out of the Park event at the Boston Common. Tune in Sunday at 11:30 on Nesson. Jonathan Arroyo back on the mound, been in the game since the 6th inning. At the final out of the 6th, pitched the 7th, gave up a run, and then here he is to begin the 8th with Robbie Ross Jr. warming up in the pen as this 8th inning starts. Here is Steve Pearce, who takes ball 1. Pearce has lined to short, single to left, and doubled to left. Also scored a run. Pearce getting the start in left field today. Almost a shift. But right in the middle from first to second base is Napoli, way off the line. The ground ball. You have to wait a while for Napoli to cover. Pop up, foul ground. Napoli heading into foul ground, and he will not have a play. But tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. Adam Pellerin and Steve Lyons will preview the Sox 3-game series against the first place Tampa Bay Rays. This one foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Steve Pearce.
Red Sox got to try to piece together these final 2 innings, keep them off the board, and give themselves a chance in a 2-run ball game.
In the air to left center field, driven deep and far. Back goes Betts at the wall, and it's going to be off the wall. Betts plays the good carom and fires to second base, and just safe at second with a headfirst slide is Steve Pearce. His 3rd hit of the day, 2nd double.
Now Pearce gets the start today because a left-hander started the game, and he's 3 for 4 in the ball game. 2 doubles. A high fly ball that's going to go off that left field wall. Well played by Mookie Betts on the fly. But not quite in time at second base. John Farrell out of the dugout.
So the pitching change from Fenway. Robbie Ross Jr. will be coming in. It's 8-6 Baltimore. Live presented by DCU. Alex Spear will stop by to talk about the state of the Red Sox. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Send it down to Garrett Austin.
Thanks, Don. Let's take a look at the Red Sox upcoming schedule. After wrapping up this series today against the Orioles, the Sox head to Tampa Bay for 3, followed by a 4-game set in Toronto. Then the Sox return home for a 3-game set against the first-place Houston Astros.
Yes, time spent in the American League East first here as the Red Sox and Orioles wrap up their series today. And here's Robbie Ross Jr. in for his 20th appearance of the year, 4.84 earned run average. Opponent sitting at .299 against Ross. Ryan Flaherty swings and misses at strike one.
Yeah, they give him an opportunity to try to pull the ball right there with Napoli in tight at first and Sandoval at third. Nobody out, man, at second. They're trying to pull the ball on that first one. Let's see if they change to a bunt.
Right back to the mound. Ross took a look at third, but he'll go to first where Napoli applies the tag on the bag there. That's a second sacrifice of the year for Ryan Flaherty.
Yeah, don't do it very often, but they gave him one chance to swing, and then after that the bunt was put on. Not a great bunt, but certainly Ross making the right play by going to first base to get the out. If he tries to rush to third, he's got Sandoval on the move. And that's not a good thing when the third baseman's moving toward the bag and that throw's coming in.
Now they're going to intentionally put on Manny Machado with first base open. Chris Parmalee will be the next batter. So the intentional walk for Machado down to first base, first and third with one out. Calling all Bruins fans. Bruins Summer Faceoff Live begins tonight at 6. Billy Jaffe and Barry Peterson will review the NHL awards and look ahead to the NHL draft. Bruins Summer Faceoff Live is presented by your local New England Nissan dealers. First intentional walk for Machado, third of his career. First and third, one out for Chris Parmalee.
Well, we've seen the Orioles try a double steal in this series. I wonder if they try it again with speed at first base. And Machado.
Breaking ball for strike one. Now it's 0-2. Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th inning will have Napoli, De Aza, Swihart scheduled to bat, and they've had a good day today. Bottom of the Red Sox order. Napoli, De Aza, and Swihart have combined for 6 hits and 4 RBIs, including a home run. High for ball 2. Ross last pitched on Tuesday night against the Orioles. 2 innings, 1 hit. Gave up a run. A swing and a miss. Gets away here from the catcher. As it is strike 3 to Parmalee. And that is the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Robbie Ross Jr.
Goes to the breaking ball right here to pick up the strikeout. Never really in the strike zone. But not picked up well by Parmalee. And now the potential double steal certainly comes into effect with 2 outs.
Nolan Reimold, the batter. He struck out at an infield hit, grounded to short, and double. There's 2 of 13 Baltimore hits today. There is strike 1. Both teams into double figures in hits. 13 for the O's, 11 for the Red Sox. right center field, and Mookie Betts is going to give way to Bradley Jr. Makes the catch that ends the inning. Orioles stranded pair. It's 8-6 Baltimore. Inning will set sail on the Boston Bruins Foundation Harbor Cruise on July 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy live music and dancing with Bruins alumni, Ice Girls, and special guests. Get your tickets now. Proceeds go to the 2015 Bruins Foundation Pan Mass Challenge team. Well, third pitcher of the day for the Orioles as Tommy Hunter checks into the game. 29th appearance of the year, 2-1 with a 3.48 earned run average. 22 strikeouts to only 4 walks. And opponent sitting at 271 against the right-hander. Takes over for T.J. McFarland, who went 2 innings, giving up a total of 3 hits and 2 runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. Mike Napoli leading it off here in the bottom of the 8th. Napoli doubled in the 2nd inning, singled in the 4th, and then was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. So on base 3 times today. May have gone. They check. Yes, he did, says Mike Everett. On the ground up the middle, but it kicked off the rubber, and Flaherty throws out Napoli. Kind of slowed it up there after hitting the rubber, went up into the air, and Flaherty throws out Napoli.
Well, it sure did. You don't see that very often. I thought for sure this ball was going to go up the middle for a base hit, but you're right off the rubber. A nice high bounce to Flaherty, and he has plenty of time to get the out at first base because the ball was hit so hard.
One down here in the 8th, and it brings up Alejandro De Aza. A single in the 2nd, a home run, 3-run shot in the 4th inning. And he bounced into a double play in the 6th inning. He'll take strike 1.
Now back in the 4th inning, De Aza hooks it around that foul pole for the 3-run home run, his 4th homer of the season. And at that time, it got the Red Sox back in the game.
Foul back, 1-2. And a piece of Wieters again. He's been hit a few times in this game. Such a big target back there. Shift on here on the right side of the infield on De Aza. Keep it tight to the infield. Look at that shift on the right side. Swing and a miss. And tagging him for good measure for the second out. De Aza strikes out, 2 down. Hey, Fenway fans, add a new treat to your lineup with a new Hood Red Sox Caramel Sundae Cone. It's a whole new ball game. 2 outs in the 8th, and it brings up Blake Swihart. He is single to center, struck out swinging, and single to center again. Third 2-hit game in a row now for Swihart, with the 3 days off in between after injuring his foot.
I was stunned at how quickly both Swihart and Sandoval got back in the lineup after twisting ankles in Kansas City.
Tommy Hunter has not surrendered a home run in 15 consecutive outings. Since April the 19th, he has had a 1.98 earned run average. Two 2-1 pitch coming here to Swihart. Ball 3. Jackie Bradley Jr. waiting on deck here. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox trailing by 2. On the ground and diving at first is Parmelee. Hunter will cover and they get him. Nice play there by Chris Parmelee. He's played a very good defensive first base today. It's 8-6 Baltimore through 8. Back at Fenway, 9th inning with Baltimore on top 8-6, and Matt Wieters leading it off here for the O's. Robbie Ross Jr. back on the mound for Boston, and he misses with ball 1 inside. Robbie Ross coming on in the 8th. Starts the 9th inning. Nobody warming behind him. Red Sox today have used Eduardo Rodriguez, who's on the hook, went 3 2/3, giving up 6 runs. Alexi Ogando, Tommy Lane, Jonathan Arrow. This is diving at third. Sandoval up and throwing. Made the catch in the air, the indication by the third base umpire for the first out of the ninth.
Has Sandoval down in his crouch, and you can see he picks that ball before it does hit the dirt. Nice play by Sandoval. Tried to show it to the umpire, but figured he better go through with the play anyway. But the umpire did make the call that he caught it in the air.
One down in the ninth inning now. David Lowe batting for the first time. Took over in center field as Reimold moved from center to right, and Delman Young came out of the game. Lowe had a big 3-run home run earlier in this series. It's a 2-hopper down to first off of Napoli. It goes into foul ground, and Lowe will reach. Lately, Napoli has not been as clean as he normally is down there at first base. That one took a tough hop on him, but he's had some tough times lately defensively, which has been very surprising.
Yeah, I think a little indecision there whether he should have stayed back for one more hop or charge it and play it on the in-between hop. He charges on the in-between hop and can't make the play. I still think, had he laid back for one more hop, he might have had time to catch it and give it to Ross covering first base. But that's a snap decision you've got to make.
He's charged with the error. Chris Davis 2 for 4. He's got a single and a double. He's driven in a run. Strike 2. Davis looks at that and finds himself down 0-2.
Back to the outside part of the plate again. So 2 pitches. Well, actually middle that time. Tries to snap off a breaking ball right there. A nice block by Swihart to keep a man out of scoring position.
Be sure to follow Nesson on Instagram. See all sorts of cool pictures this Red Sox season. Our followers grow every day. See if we can get 50,000 before the end of the summer. Follow Nesson on Instagram today. 1 out, 1 on. 1-2 pitch. Davis not chasing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. David Lowe at first base, held on by Mike Napoli with 1 out in the ninth. Full count.
Pretty good job by Davis to lay off that breaking ball right there. That was tempting.
Fouled off to the left, out of play. Ball 4 and a walk here allowed to Davis. So 2 on now for the Orioles with 1 out. It's time for today's T-Mobile game changer performance, and J.J. Hardy, part of a 6-run 4th inning. Hardy able to drive in 2 with his double. Delman Young and Chris Davis both scoring. Orioles scored 6 times on 7 hits. All that off Eduardo Rodriguez in the 4th inning. Now Robbie Ross dealing with J.J. Hardy, who takes strike 1. Walk allowed by Ross. The second walk he's given up since coming in. The first was intentional. Manny Machado intentionally walked. The Orioles closer up in the pen, Zach Britton. Strike 2. Line foul down towards Canvas Alley. Tuesday, and an all-new Red Sox report. Go inside the draft room. Catch up with the latest class of Red Sox scholars. This week's episode recaps the month of June. Don't miss the Red Sox report Tuesday at 5. 1-2 pitches just inside, and it's 2-2. Lined into right center field for a base hit off the bat of Hardy. Lowe will now take third. He had to wait to see if Brock Holt was going to be able to make that catch. Kind of froze him around the bag at second, so the base is now loaded with 1 out.
Yeah, he makes the right move there because it was tough to tell, whether Brock Holt was going to be able to make this play. It sounded like a broken bat. I'm not sure it was, but yeah, I think the handle of it broke, and kind of a soft line drive. Holt goes up over the glove, and you can see Lowe right there just has to stop at third base. So Hardy's had a good day, a couple of hits, 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs.
One out, bases filled with Orioles, and it brings up Steve Pearce. Chance to give the Baltimore Orioles some room here. And a fly ball to shallow right field. Jackie Bradley Jr. coming in to make the catch. Trying to score from third is Lowe. The throw gonna be in time to get him. Nice arm shown off there by Jackie Bradley Jr. We head to the bottom of the ninth. 8-6 Baltimore.
Eight to 6, the Orioles have the lead, but Jackie Bradley Jr. making a great play. We know how good of an outfielder he is. I was a little surprised they tagged up, but they are going to take the chance. All momentum going toward home plate, all the way in the air. Swihart catches, has to go to his left to make the tag. And the Red Sox cut down a run, so let's see if good defense can excite the offense here in the ninth inning.
Jackie Bradley Jr. leading it off here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Let's take ball one from the closer for the Orioles. Zach Britton into the game here. 31st appearance, 2.05 earned run average, 20 out of 21 on the year. A strike evens it count at 1-1. Tied for second in the American League with the 20 saves. On the ground to first base, it eats up Parmalee and into right field. Bradley holds on here at first base to begin things in the bottom of the ninth.
Now that should go as a base hit, because that was a nasty hop right there on Parmalee. He's played a great defensive first base today, but had no chance on that one as it bounced right up over the glove. Watch the last hop just take off on Parmalee, and Bradley should have his second hit of the day.
He does. He joins Napoli, Diaz, Swihart, and Bogarts, all with 2 hits. Red Sox with 12 in the game. Lead runner on, tying run at the plate now in Mookie Betts. And a single to left field his last time up. A 1-for-4 day for the Red Sox center fielder. Strike one. Down to 31 in the ninth inning. Save opportunities against the Red Sox. And from Alex Spear, the Boston Globe. Britton has converted 16 in a row. Ground ball down the third baseline, foul. Retrieved by Machado, but in foul ground, and Betts down 0-2. On the ground again, foul.
Hey, think of that hop that Bradley's ball took on Parmalee at first base. A lot of times that first base area gets dug up because of everybody taking their leads over there, and you've got to wonder if that ball might have hit one of those spots, because it just exploded on Parmalee.
Betts hits a fly ball to shallow left. It is J.J. Hardy and Machado, and it'll be Hardy who makes the catch for the first out of the bottom of the ninth inning. So Mookie Betts retired. That'll take us to Brock Holt. Holt looking for his first hit of the day. 0-for-4 today. A couple of strikeouts. And now 0-for-11 in this series against Baltimore for Holt. Strike one. Ball and a strike to Holt. Koji Ihara up in the bullpen in case. One out, bottom of the ninth inning. Tying run at the plate in Brock Holt. Foul off the fencing in front of the Orioles dugout. Holt's down 1-2. Miguel Gonzalez, the pitcher of record right now for the Orioles, lasted just 5+ innings, giving up 4 runs. T.J. McFarland gave up 2. Tommy Hunter won a perfect inning, and now Zach Britton, the closer, trying to finish the deal here for the Orioles. Two and two.
Velocity up a little bit since last time we saw Britton. He's at 97 today. Wasn't quite that hard the last time we saw him.
Holt fights it off, foul to the left, out of play. It's induced the second most ground ball outs this season among American League relievers. 58 ground ball outs in 30 and 2/3 innings. Two-two pitch. Holt strikes out, and it's on that outside corner that he gets rung up on by Tim Welke. 2 down.
Yeah, once again they go away from Brock Holt. Once again it's a strike, and this one again borderline right on the just a little bit of the baseball on the corner. I mean, he's had a stretch of about 4 or 5 days where, I mean, it seems like everything has been either on the corner or just outside being called strikes.
2 down in the 9th inning. Here's Xander Bogaerts. 2-hit day, both doubles, 1 to left, 1 to center. And he's picked up an RBI, 31st of the year. He'll take strike 1 right at the bottom of the zone.
Britton has allowed 1 home run so far this season.
Ball, 1 strike to Xander Bogaerts. Does have 3 home runs on the year. Tying run at the plate. Bradley started the inning with a base hit. He's still at first with now 2 down in the 9th. Strike 2.
And Bogaerts didn't like that, but that was a good pitch. Looks back at Welke. Welke's shaking his head. Yep, good pitch.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 9th. Red Sox trailing by 2. Two and 2. David Ortiz waiting on deck, hoping he'll get a chance. There are 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Britton's 2-2 pitch. Bogaerts hits it on the ground. Machado will go to second, and that's the ball game. The Orioles hold on and beat the Red Sox 8-6, and they win this series at Fenway Park, taking 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. As the Orioles with an 8-6 victory here today. Let's take a look at our Toyota play of the game. Matt Wieters, 3rd home run of the year, a 2-run shot back in the 4th inning off Eduardo Rodriguez, all part of a 6-run 4th inning for the Baltimore Orioles, and they hold on to win this game 8-6 as Zach Britton will pick up his 21st save of the year. A loss in this game to Eduardo Rodriguez. On this very brief homestand, the Red Sox dropped 2 out of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles, and now Adam Pellerin, Red Sox will head off to Tampa Bay.